Don't call it as EBS. Call it as Beanstalk, right? Elastic Beanstalk. Very good. And which is a service where everything is already available, just go and pick it up and use it. Lightsail. Very good. And which is a service in AWS? Which is a service in AWS can be invoked based on the triggers? Lambda. And which is a service is object-based storage? S3. S3 is limited or unlimited storage? Unlimited. In S3, is it possible to execute, run, install? What is the container called in S3? Bucket. What does the bucket contains? Objects. What is a key? File name. Nice. What are hard disks called in AWS? Volume. From where do you create the volumes? What volumes are they? EBS volumes. And these volumes are what based storage? Block based storage. Nice. What is the default volume called? Root volume. What does the root volume contains? Operating system. And is it possible to detach and attach volumes anytime? Yeah. And what is the maximum size of the volume? 16 terabyte. What are, apart from the root volume, what are the rest of the volumes called? Additional volumes. Is it possible to increase the volume size on fly? Yes. Is it possible to decrease the volume size? No. Okay. And does the volume has availability zones? Yes. The EC2 instance and volume should be the same availability zone? Yes or no? Yes. One way volume can be attached to one EC2 instance? No. And is it possible to detach the root volume while EC2 is running? No. How about additional volume? Yes, but not recommended. Nice. What is the root volume device name? /dev/sda1. Wow. And if I need to have a common storage across multiple EC2 instances, which is a service that you can leverage? EFS. What is the full form of EFS? Elastic File System. And EFS is what based storage? File based storage. And EFS is for Linux or Windows? It's for Linux. And how about Windows? FASAC, FSX, right? Yeah. And EFS works on which protocol? NFS version 4. And which is the service used for archiving purpose in AWS? Glacier. Which is the service if I want to transfer the huge data from on-premises to AWS or AWS to on-premises? Snow family. Do you remember the devices in the Snow family? What are those? Cone, Edge, and Mobile. And which is a service used to synchronize the data from on-premises to AWS? Storage gateway. If I want to set up a database, which service do I choose? RDS. RDS is a database or a database service? It's a database service. How many engines does RDS support? 6. What are those? MonPMA. And which is a NoSQL service in AWS? Dynamo. And is it possible to do a database caching? Which service is that? Database caching. Which service is that? Elasticcache. And if you need to set up and nice. And in Elasticcache, what are the two engines that do we have? Redis, not Redis. Okay, Redis and Memcache. Nice. And if you want to secure your entire AWS environment, do you need to have the VPCs or not? What is the full form of VPC? Virtual Private Cloud. VPC is regional or global? Regional. How many VPCs you can create per region? 5. Which is a DNS service in AWS? Route 53. So if you want to connect and do not want to use a shared internet from your on-premises to AWS, if you need a lease line, dedicated connection, which is a service? Direct Connect. And which is a service used for website caching and can be cached throughout globally? CloudFront. And CloudFront has what? Edge locations. Edge locations are connected through CDN. If I want to create users in AWS, which service do you choose? IAM. What are the two different types of users we have in IAM? Root and IAM user. Who is super admin here? Root or IAM? Root. IAM has limited kind of permission. Yeah. How do you log into the root account? Using email ID and password. And how do you log into the IAM user? Username and password. Nice. And if you want to control multiple root accounts from a single account, what is the concept that you will be using it? Organizations. And if you want to automate organizations, what is the concept? What is the service do you choose? Control tower and landing zones. And if you want to do some inspection, which is the service in AWS does inspect? Inspector. And which is the service in AWS use advisors? Trusted advisor. Very good. Which is the service in AWS can send emails? SCS. Notifications? SNS. Which is the service used for queue purpose? Messaging. SQS. And which is the service in AWS used for monitoring purpose? CloudWatch. Does this CloudWatch monitors the performance or not? Yes. So CloudWatch has how many types of monitoring? 2. What are those? Basic and detailed. Which one is free? Basic. And what is the data point interval for basic? 5 minutes. And how about for detail? 1 minute. So which is the service which will be recording all the activities, API activities happening in the entire AWS environment? Cloudtrail. And if you want to notify, if you want to find the configuration changes of AWS resources, config. And which support we need to use? Which type of support do we need to use? Basic. Guys, too good. I really appreciate. Super, yeah. Super, excellent. Big round of applause. Not even one wrong answer, man. Wow. Wow. Huh? Very nice. Very nice. So guys, okay, so did you revise or mostly in your minds? In your minds only, mostly, right? 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 Do you remember the first day? Do you remember the first day that what I told? Remember? Yes. I am on my words. Excellent. Hey, it's not because of me, it's because of how interestingly you're listening. Yeah. Too good. Okay. So you are, by the way, with these kind of answers that you have given, almost half of the certification that you can easily do it now. Guys, I cannot say half, at least 40% you can easily finish off all your certification questions with this knowledge. And also with this same knowledge, you can easily understand whoever in AWS they are talking to each other, or wherever you go, or at least when you go and see the pamphlet, or at least when you go to Naukri, Monster, and check AWS profiles, what they are asking for, easily you can understand. Just give a try today. Okay, just go to a normal Indeed or Monster, Naukri, and just find out AWS or LinkedIn AWS profiles and see there what are the things that they are asking for. Okay, cool. So as we have covered the overall topics, and today let's go and take a deep dive on the first service. What is that first service here that we're going to talk about? It is IAM. Yes, IAM, Identity and Access Management. Guys, we have already discussed on IAM. Just now I have asked many questions on IAM, and then without any single doubt we have answered. But let us go a little bit more deeper and learn what is this IAM about. We just had a trailer, and let's go and watch a picture on that. And guys, this IAM is used for security purpose. Do you agree? IAM is used for security purpose only, right? IAM is used for security purpose, and with IAM you can control the entire AWS resources centrally. And we just also learned that, hey, a company usually, not each and every individual employee will not have its own root account. No. If you have that kind of scenario, handling multiple root accounts, of course, now you can handle it using organizations concept. But just remember, if you are in one, so big company has multiple projects, and multiple projects has multiple employees, and each and every employee cannot handle one root account. So we need to create users in our root account, and that users we call it as IAM users. And how do we control this entire activities? By creating users and giving permissions to them. So yesterday we discussed that we have listed out few IAM users, and like Lipsha has permissions of EC2, and Babji might have permissions for S3. Fahimuddin has permission. we need, based on the requirement, we will be assigning permissions to each and individual IAM user. This is all about nothing but security. Okay. So guys, people might ask, hey, I don't like to go with the PPTs, so I'll just quickly move ahead on our page. But the thing is, people might ask, guys, how is AWS really secure? What do you think, guys? Yes or no? If it is not secure, why the hell it is number one in the market, right? So AWS is definitely, it's secure. So we know that on data center, who will be handling the data centers? AWS or customers? AWS, right? So on the physical data centers, virtualizations, OS level security, everything he will be handling it. But remember, guys, do you remember we discussed about the shared model? Do you remember somehow this in our initial classes? Shared model in infrastructure as a service. Can you tell me what are the customers are responsible for in infrastructure as a service? Customers are responsible for application, data, and OS. Yes, application, data, and operating system. And rest, everything is completely managed by AWS. And what AWS said to us is, hey customer, application, your data, and whatever you are putting on the operating system, right, everything is you take care. I have no business on that. Right? I have no business on that. You take care of that. Right? So that is called shared model. Here we have it called shared model. That, yeah, shared model. So this would be also a one type of certification question that they will be asking, like, hey, if I put some application on my EC2 instance and something went wrong, who is responsible? Is that AWS or customer, guys? Customer, right? Very good. So do you see that here? Your compute, storage, databases, networking, regions, availability zones, edge locations, all these are completely managed by AWS in the bottom orange color. And on top of it, whatever the data you put in, whatever the platform you choose it, whatever the operating system you choose it, whatever the applications you have it, whatever the network traffic it is going inside your environment, is completely managed by customer. This is called shared model. What is this called? Everyone say this. What is this called, guys? Shared model. Important. It's enough. And let's go to our actual IAM. IAM time. Okay. All right. So IAM has two types of accounts or two types of users. What are those? Root user and IAM user. So what does the root user has? Root user has full permissions, and IAM user has limited permissions. Full permissions and then limited permissions. Okay. Can I call here permissions are nothing but policies only, na? Guys, permissions are nothing but policies only, na? Do you agree? Permissions. What kind of permissions here? Permissions, we call it as policies. But those who didn't understood about the policies, don't worry. Tomorrow we'll be discussing about the policies. We have the policy sections there. So policies are nothing but your rules, right? It's a rule. So where I'll be giving EC2 full permissions, LIC policy, okay, not that. So EC2 full permissions, and then like S3 full permissions. So all these are all called policies here. All these are called policies. Let's say, for example, I'll be creating an IAM user. I'll create IAM users like this. Let's say Babji, Lipsha. Who is that? Hari, Gauss. Somehow this is hanging, yeah. Zoom. And who else? Give some name, man. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Super. Okay, enough. So can you tell me, guys, now here, what kind of permissions what kind of policies that PUBG can have? Tell me this. EC2, very good. And for Libsha, what kind of policy that we can give in? Okay. S3, good. And what the hell? It's hanging. Yeah. For Hari, let's say EFS. For Gauss, let's say Beanstalk. And for Ansari, let's give admin permissions. I can give admin permission, guys? Yes. So can you tell me, guys, admin permissions, everything he has an access as a root account, except what? Nice. Except billing. Of course, he can also give the permissions for the billing also. By default, you don't have the permissions here. Nice. So this is how we'll be creating IAM users. So root account will be mine, for example. Root account will be mine, and inside my root account, I can delegate my entire account by creating IAM users. So if Babji is doing something on EC2, because end of the day, who should be paying the bill? Babji or a root account? Who will be paying the bill? Babji or root account? Root account, not Babji. Because IAM users are reporting to this root account. Root account is the parent, and then IAM users are like chains. Right? Whatever these guys do, end of the day, root user will be paying the bill. Right? Do you agree that, guys, here I can attach and detach these permissions, the policies? For an IAM user, for PUBG, anytime I can go and attach EC2 permissions, anytime I can go and detach EC2 permissions, anytime I can go and attach CloudWatch, and anytime I can remove it. So guys, here, for IAM user, keep this in mind, you can attach and detach the policies or permissions here. For IAM user, you can attach and detach the permissions, or you can call it as policies. Yes. Getting it? Yes. So what is IAM? Till now we have discussed about this IAM, right? So can I call this IAM is used for security purpose? IAM is used for security purpose, and with IAM you can control the entire with IAM, you can control the entire AWS resources centrally. There was a big question went on top. Let me go up. This is hanging, yeah. Zoom is hanging. I don't know. Okay, Fahimuddin. So if we have to give billing permissions as well to the admin, who can do it? Only root user, or can the admin himself get the billing permissions to modify the permissions? So if he don't have so Fahimuddin, root guy has to give that. To answer that, root guy has to do this, give the permissions, because admin, he can do anything except he cannot go and check the credit card details that we have given. Hey, by the way, does everyone has the AWS account now? Everyone created, signed up? Oh, hello, others? Everyone signed up? Nice. Those who have not done, please don't delay. We need to do the practicals. Yes. Yeah. Please do that. Okay. Well. All right. So let's come back. So guys, IAM is used for security purpose, and with IAM you can control the entire AWS resources centrally. Should I tell you? Should I tell you a good news here? That IAM is free, right? IAM is free. So whatever you do it in IAM, no bill. It's completely free service. So how many users that you want to create, you create it. How many policies that you want to create it. Anything what you want to do it in IAM, you can easily do it. Not even single cent will be charged. IAM is free. And can IAM admin change root permissions? No. Guys, yes. So root user is only the admin? Yes. Only the parent and kid kind of thing, yeah. Root user, basically root user will be only one. Right? Root user will be one, and you will have multiple IAM users. Can IAM users control the root account, or root account will control IAM user? Root account will control the IAM user. Right? IAM users will not control root account. No. Okay? And guys, do you remember that how many IAM accounts can be created in 1 hour? Hundreds of IAM accounts. Yes, hundreds of, yeah, Vandana, right. So guys, keep this in mind. For in AWS, root is the boss, true. So in AWS, everything there is a limit. Okay, every service has a limit. We call it as soft limit. Let's say how many IAM users I can create. Let's say 500 plus you can create it, right? But that is only a soft limit. Anytime you can ask AWS from support that to change based on your business needs, right? There will be soft limits all the time. Can we change root user with IAM user? How? Yeah, I just told you, root users is the boss. Junior software engineer cannot go and do something to the manager, right? So yeah, yes. And another important certification question, guys, here. IAM is free, by the way. Do you remember this EC2, VPCs? These are all regional, right? Right? These are all regional, right? Yeah. This IAM is global. What is that, guys? IAM is global. Every service in AWS can be regional or can be global. Keep this in mind. Every service in AWS can be regional or can be global. But this IAM is global. Why? IAM is like an eagle. It has to control the entire AWS account, right? One AWS account has multiple regions, right? We can go and create launch EC2 instances anywhere in the region, right? So that means this IAM should be able to control all the regions, entire AWS, your account. So that meaning IAM should be regional or IAM should be global? Yes, IAM is global. IAM is okay. Now, guys, so let's say, for example, I have my root accounts. Let's say Hari, Fahimuddin, and Ujwala. These guys asked, Riya sir, we want to work in your account. We want to work in your account. Should I go and share my email ID and password to them to work in my account? No. What is the right way to do that? If these three guys, yes, create IAM user. Very good. This is a certification question. So guys, keep this in mind. Is it recommended to share your email ID and password to others? A big no. A big no. So don't share your email and password to others. No. Right? Do not share that email ID and password to others. Yes. So now there will be a certification question like this. Is it possible to share your root account to others? Question. See, twisting. Is it possible to share your AWS root accounts to others? Okay, I'm not asking about here sharing email ID and password. I'm asking, is it possible to share your account, AWS account to others? Yes. How? By creating IAM users. By creating IAM users. Guys, you can share your AWS account to others. How? By creating IAM users. Everyone, all this Babji, Lipsha, Hari, Gauss, Ansari, all this one will be sharing my account only in a AWS account. One account and I'll be sharing with them. How? By creating IAM users. This is a certification question. So you can share AWS account by creating IAM users. By creating IAM users. Guys, is this clear till here? Getting it right? Nice. And guys, tell me here. With this kind of knowledge that you have on the IAM at the moment, can you answer this question? Is it recommended to use root account for daily activities? For daily work? See, with this knowledge itself, you are saying that working, right? It is not at all recommended, guys, not at all recommended to use your root account for your daily activities or work. Every day you need to work on AWS, yeah? So will you log in with the root account? Will you log in with the IAM account? Root account is not for root account. Basically, you just need to create a root account and then leave it. You need to create an IAM user, and then with that IAM user, based on your permissions, you need to log in with the IAM users instead of the root account all the time. So guys, let's come to here our actual scenario, right? Actual scenario is everyone have their own root account, yes or no? Everyone has their own root account now with you? Yes. So that meaning you need to log in with the root account for daily tasks, or will you create your own IAM user and will you log in with the IAM user for daily work? You should have an IAM user and you should be admin on that. You should create your own IAM user, and what kind of permissions that you want to give? Give admin permission, so that you are an admin to your account. But remember guys, it is not at all recommended to log in with the root account, because just in case if your root account, I will come to that point. So first of all, okay, will you agree that it is not recommended to log in with your root account, right? Yes, let me write that first. It is not at all recommended to use root account for daily activities or work. Instead, use IAM user. Why? I'll tell you here now. Okay. Tell me frankly, guys. Tell me honestly here. Now, how many? So you guys, you have signed up AWS account with your email ID and password. Yes. Yes. Good. Can you tell me here honestly, how many of you have this email ID and password saved on the browser? Most of the people has this email ID and password are saved in your browser. Mostly, yes, right? You are also agreeing. How much time for the hacker will take to hack your email ID and password from your browser? Easily he can do. Few seconds. So if that email ID and password is hacked, he can do anything in your account. Yes or no? He can do anything in your account. It's a security breach. Let's say, for example, you have logged in with an IAM user. And does the IAM user has full permissions or limited permissions? Limited permissions. So even the IAM user username and password is also saved on the browser. You might ask, sir, if the IAM user is admin, he also has the full access, right? So that meaning username and password will be also saved in the browser, and that is also security breach. Yes, that is also a security breach. Root user meaning it's gone case, completely gone case. If hacker has hacked your email and password, it's completely gone case. But if it is IAM user, let's say Babji's IAM username and password is hacked. So hacker can do anything on EC2. Can he do on SCEFS, Beanstack and all others? He cannot do anything because Babji's username password has only EC2 permissions. Let's say Ansari's username and password is hacked. He can do everything? Yes, he can do everything. So guys, let me give an funny example here that has happened with me. When I was new to this AWS and I was in Europe, okay, before that, let me answer this question. When I was creating account, there is a question guys here. While I was creating account, it asked for username too, apart from email. So can you please tell me whether there will be one IAM user already created with the username that I have provided, or no, it will not create. It will not create. We need to go and create it. The only one what you have to have is username, root user. Okay, guys, I don't leave all these questions. Definitely it will be covered. Just you need to have a patience. That's all. Okay, so the thing is here, when they moved me to my headquarters, and then, believe me, I didn't know much on this AWS at that time, and I got trained. I learned by myself everything by myself there. And then, within no matter of time, so we had a requirement that we need to move almost all the customers from on-premises to AWS. We need to migrate it. That's how they have hired me actually. And then what I did, with a lot of efforts, within couple of months, they gave me 6 months, but within couple of or 2.5 months, I have migrated everyone to the cloud. Now entire my company is on cloud now. Good. And guys, I worked there, but I was using the root account for I am the only one person, fortunately or unfortunately. I'm the only one person I got. That's the reason, guys, I had a very good opportunity where I set up this entire thing from scratch. I architected the entire AWS, set up everything from scratch. That's the reason why I have a good, strong grip on this. So here, I was using, as I am the only one person, right? I am the only one person. Do I care about creating IAM users? As I'm the only one person on those days? No. So because, okay, company I'm the only head on this cloud, and then I created my own root. I created the company root account, right? And then I started working on it, and everything got set up. And then I moved my green, and I got a good awards and reward on that. Nice, everything. I was on cloud, best employee of the year, right? Yeah. And I was on cloud 9. And everyone started appreciating, wow, man, you are a cloud guy. Everywhere I go in there, hey, cloud guy. Because cloud was very new on those days. And then we have saved lots of money by moving and by releasing on-premises data centers and servers actually. Nice. I was very happy, and my manager is also very happy. On one day, that was on weekend, my manager called. My manager name is Pekka Pakkanan. Right? So my manager called on Saturday, I think on Saturday or Sunday. And I thought like, okay, he's calling because he need to still appreciate me, right? Because usually these Finnish guys, the European guys, they don't much work on the weekends. So I said like, hey, Pekka, how are you? And he said, it's depend on you. Excuse me? What? Yeah, it's depend on you. Okay. So what happened? Why did you call on the weekend? Did you got a new business? New client? Then he said, I'm worried about the existing business, he said. Only punch. Okay. Okay, something weird is happening here. Yeah. What happened, Pekka? Can you please explain? I said. And he said, can you log into this AWS account? Okay, I'll do. Okay, I went and logged into this AWS account. We had some 50 EC2 instances running there. And I see there are many EC2 instances running there. Not that 50, just think that 70 or 80 from 30, 40 extra machines are running there. And I was angry. Who the hell? I said, who the hell who created this? I told you that Pekka, it should everything I have to do it, and no one has the knowledge to doing on the cloud. And who went and do it? Who went? Did you share this root account? He said, no. Right? You have not shared the root account? Then who created? Then he started screaming, oh my Riaz, our account is hacked. Right? Then it's boom boom at that time. So I was like, what? I know no words. Mata live, Manlad Koda live. Right? So he was telling, man, Riaz, please do something. Right? So keep this in mind. So it got hacked. Our account got hacked. And then they have launched multiple EC2 instances. Thank God, data has not hacked. Data is was not hacked. Data got not hacked. But the thing is, I sent a big email to this AWS saying that, hey AWS, our account got hacked. Is this the way the AWS security is? Is the AWS is number one in the market, and that the security is bullshit? So I created a support ticket saying that all kind of bullshit. And he simply replied saying that in English only, but in our language. I read that email, and it looks like AWS sent a mail saying that, right? You are using the root account for your daily work. Why? Question mark. Right? Why don't you created an IAM user? Question mark. Abeo Saleh, do you understand how to secure your account? Question mark. So they have clearly responded. It is up to me that how stupidity I was on those days. So guys, whatever I was teaching, it's based on my real experience, right? Since then, I have put everything. Not only this, I have so many bunch of real-time experiences I can share with you in coming days. But the thing is, this is one of the important things. And he sent a reply saying that, and you have, of course, you know what? I have saved the root account, username and password in my browser also, right? If I say this to him, he will die and he'll make me die. But the thing is here, so, okay, all this bullshit happened, and he sent that there is a concept called MFA. What is that, guys? MFA. MFA. MFA meaning multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication. So multi-factor authentication is a concept where, right? Yeah, where, guys, do you in your we have something called Google Authenticator. Does anyone know this? We have something called Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator. This is a small software or a tool. So it's a two-way authentication. It's a two-way authentication. That meaning, guys, open your phone and go to your Play Store and then just download this MFA, Google Authenticator. Just type Google Authenticator and download. This will be useful for us in practicals. But yeah, this is MFA. What this MFA does is, guys, MFA, what it does is basically, Whenever you provide username, email ID and password of your root account or username and password of your IAM account, and you need to configure this MFA for your account, for your AWS account. Let's say for IAM user. Let's say for Babji, I need to configure MFA so that whenever he put username and password, and you need to put like OTP only, right? You need to put a code that is generated on your phone. You need to open Google Authenticator app, and then there will be a code generated, and you need to give that code on the console. Then only you will be logged in to the AWS console. Till then, you cannot log in it. So if your hacker hacked username and password or email ID and password, does he able to hack your phone security code? Definitely no, not at all possible, right? So yeah, not at all possible. And unless you open your phone, right? And unless you open your phone, and unless you open the app, and whatever the code, and the security code is valid only for 10 seconds. And every 10 seconds, the code will be regenerated, right? Remember, guys, on olden days, we have a RSA tokens, right? To log into your company on olden days. Yeah. So that's the same thing, guys. So that is a Google Authenticator. But here the question is, can you tell me, guys, so how does it work? This will work like.